Being a teenage girl, Samantha loves parties and pizza, but she is also very shy because she's the president's daughter. She has to be really careful about what she says and does in order to maintain her father's reputation. Samantha is always surrounded by the paparazzi and tons of bodyguards. She also gets scrutinized for every move of hers. The news reporters criticize her for either her looks or her mannerisms. This frustrates her a lot because she feels like she's always being watched. But along with the cons, there are also a lot of perks of being the president's daughter. Samantha gets to go to a lot of places for helpful missions. She loves providing the needy with various resources. Along with that, she also gets to immerse in different cultures and learn a lot about the world and politics. Like always, Samantha has to attend lots of parties and balls for publicity. She hates living under the public eye, but keeps quiet anyway. One night, while she's getting ready for bed, her assistant dictates all of the events she still has to attend. Samantha sighs while asking her to stop and begs the assistant to just give her one day of freedom. The assistant smiles and tells her that she'll always need to behave because she's basically a princess. Samantha nods, but deep down, she feels really lonely and exhausted. The feeling doesn't go away, so she sneaks out at night and gets to the kitchen through a secret route. There, she takes a slice of chocolate cake and eats it. That's when Samantha's father, President MacKenzie, catches her and the two start eating the delicious cake together. Samantha kisses her father on the cheek while talking about all their fondest memories. She exclaims that she's really excited for her first day of college tomorrow. Her father wishes her all the best, and that's when Samantha requests her father to let her go alone. She wants to attend college as a normal teenager rather than the president's daughter, who always has a group of Secret Service men following her. The president nods, but tells her that she's not like everybody else, and even though she doesn't realize it, her life is always at risk. The big day finally arrives, and Samantha is really excited. She's also very nervous because she has to give an interview before. Her assistant rants about all the things she has to say in front of the media, while the same happens to her parents. Samantha's mother is hounded by her assistants and informers, telling her what to do. Even President MacKenzie has a number of people telling him what to say and how to publicize his every move. All of them are exhausted because unlike any other family, they can't get one day of privacy. Eventually, President MacKenzie answers all of the media's questions, and so does Samantha. Then, they hop into a helicopter and fly off. When they reach California, the roads are filled with people cheering for them. Samantha feels really scared and out of place. She's also really nervous to live on her own for the first time ever. As they enter the college, Samantha groans in frustration. The college is already filled with a bunch of reporters, and there's a huge band playing for them as they walk out of their car. Samantha runs into her dorms as soon as she can, in order to avoid the paparazzi. Her father teases her saying they can just go back home and choose a college nearby, but Samantha laughs. She chose this college specifically because it's really far, and because she can finally live life on her own terms. They enter her dorm room, where the First Lady comments about Samantha's roommate not being on time. Samantha just rolls her eyes, saying not everyone lives by a minute-to-minute schedule. That's when President MacKenzie tells her that she has to attend a couple events to make sure she's known. Samantha sighs in frustration because she doesn't have a choice. Before she can even bid farewell properly, her parents are escorted out. Samantha's assistant, Liz, drags her out as well. Finally, the three of them walk hand in hand in front of the media. The president and the First Lady give Samantha a small pep talk on how to survive college. In the end, all of them tear up and hug each other tightly. Samantha's father promises to visit her as soon as he can. They eventually leave, and Samantha wipes her tears. She then goes back to her room. Even in college, Samantha still has a whole bunch of tall men following her around. She asks them not to intimidate her roommate. Right then, a really sassy girl enters the room. The girl, Mia, happens to be Samantha's roommate. Mia is not aware of her sharing the room with the president's daughter. She tells Samantha that she just wants to have a normal college experience. Mia claims that she's not interested in being in the public eye with Samantha and backs out. Samantha begs Mia to just give her a chance and eventually manages to persuade her. Mia is a very funny and a headstrong girl. She tells Samantha all about her family and then starts flirting with Bach, Samantha's bodyguard. Mia then asks Samantha to change into some comfortable clothes so that they can go out and meet some cute guys. But Samantha already has a really busy schedule. Unlike the others, she can't just go out to parties. She has to meet all the college faculty first. A huge party dedicated to Samantha is being thrown in the college. All of the professors and teachers greet her personally and start talking about politics. Mia and all her friends try their hardest to get Samantha to join them, but fail miserably. Finally, the party is over, and Samantha heads over to her room only to get kicked out by Mia. She has a guy over and asks Samantha to come back only after 2 hours. Samantha is shocked at this, but agrees anyway. She goes to the living area and starts watching TV, when suddenly she's approached by 2 guys. They invite her to their annual plunge and ask her to come in a bathing suit. Samantha is delighted to get the invitation and agrees to come. The next day, she goes to her first class. There, she gets stared and gawked at by all the students. The professor asks all of them to direct their attention towards him, and that's when one of the guys cracks a funny joke. Everyone starts laughing and Samantha feels relieved because no one's staring at her anymore. After the class ends, Samantha runs after the guy and thanks him for basically rescuing her. She chats with him for a while until he finally walks away. Samantha starts to like him a little. Suddenly, she's joined by Mia, who tells her that the guy is really good looking and that she should totally date him. Samantha just laughs and the two walk away. Together, they go to the plunge, which is basically a frat party. Mia looks like she just belongs there and makes a grand entrance. She blends in really quickly. Meanwhile, Samantha feels really out of place and just sits in a corner looking at everyone. Right then, the president's arrival song starts playing, and a bunch of guys start dancing in front of her. They move their bodies really seductively and Samantha is shocked. Everyone cheers them on while Mia is just absolutely disgruntled. She hates the fact that Samantha gets all the attention, even when she's doing nothing. One of the guys there walks around with what seems like a gun. Bach and his team notice this immediately and tackle him to the ground. Some of the bodyguards drag Samantha away while the others start questioning the guy. Turns out, he just had a water gun the whole time. This incident really enraged Samantha, and she runs off to her father's office. Everyone there is stunned to see her in a little bathing suit, but she doesn't care. There, she meets Liz, who tries to calm her down, but Samantha demands to see the president. Liz goes to get him but sees that he's too busy. That's when Samantha threatens to just run away forever. Liz understands and tells the president that Samantha is really miserable. He finally walks out of his meeting and goes to meet his daughter. He tries to act normal after seeing Samantha in such skimpy clothing and doesn't comment on anything. As soon as she sees him, Samantha complains about everything that happened. She tells him that she cannot make friends at all because of all the Secret Service men following her all the time. Her father tells her that she has to endure it because the election is near and her life could very well be in danger. Samantha just screams out in frustration and walks away. President MacKenzie realizes that this whole thing has really taken a toll on her and agrees to her request. Liz tells Samantha the great news and she squeals in excitement. She goes back to her room and breathes a sigh of relief. From the next day, Samantha only has 2 bodyguards, and they only follow her from a distance. As Samantha and Mia walk, they notice a huge group of people protesting against President MacKenzie. They're led by a guy who talks about how the whole MacKenzie family is privileged and only knows how to run away from problems. The guy even challenges Samantha to a debate, but she walks away. Mia asks her to speak up, but Samantha claims that they have the right to freedom of speech. Mia just rolls her eyes at that and drags her away to have some fun. They end up on a sliding ramp. Mia urges Samantha to have some fun, but she's really skeptical. Mia jumps on the ramp and slides away as everyone cheers her on. This motivates Sam, and she does the same. There, she meets the same guy she had thanked before. She introduces herself again, and the guy introduces himself as James. James and Sam jump on the ramp together and slide downwards, followed by Mia. They all have a really great time. The next morning, Liz calls Samantha and she's furious. Apparently, Sam's photos of jumping around and sliding went viral. Liz yells at Sam for being so irresponsible and reckless, and even says that the president is fuming because of this. Mia rolls her eyes after hearing that and asks Sam to just hang up. But Sam insists that she wants to speak to her father. On the phone, Samantha's father berates her for misusing her freedom, and that's when Mia snatches the phone from her hands. She tells President MacKenzie that he needs to get some parenting advice and gives him an earful. Instead of being angry, he just listens to her and manipulates her. He starts appreciating her personality, and Mia becomes impressed. She is flattered and finally hangs up while smiling. Samantha chuckles at the conversation, and that's when Mia admits that the president is truly good at his job. The next day, a bunch of reporters hound Sam for answers. There are also a lot of protesters screaming at her. Bach and her other bodyguard, Dylan, try to keep the reporters at bay while Samantha runs up to her room. She bangs on the door and asks Mia to let her in but gets no response. Out of desperation, she runs into the RA's room and sees James there. Turns out, he's the RA. Samantha tells James all about the protesters, and so he comes up with a plan. He asks her to put on his large hoodie and cap. She agrees to it without question. The hoodie and cap offer a good disguise, and the two run off. Bach doesn't recognize Samantha, and neither do the protesters. Eventually, they enter a pizza place and start talking about each other. The two laugh and joke around. That's when Sam realizes that she really likes James. She loves the smell of his hoodie and sniffs it again and again. The two then get into an IQ competition of who knows more. Both of them are equally talented and bombard each other with fun facts. This continues on until an old lady comes up to them. She recognizes Sam as the president's daughter and asks to take a picture. Samantha allows her to, but soon, the media finds her as well. They start running after her to get a picture, but James drags her away. The two take off into small streets and alleys in order to evade the media. Finally, they enter a movie theater. It's really dark there, so no one recognizes them. Samantha claims that it's the first time she's had so much fun, and James tells her that she needs to break the rules more often. They enjoy watching the movie together, and Samantha's feelings for him just get stronger and stronger. At night, Samantha thinks it wise to keep hiding in James' room. They talk about sweet things the whole night, while her guards are stationed just outside. In the morning, Sam meets Mia and tells her everything. She confesses that she really likes James, but doesn't know if he likes her back. That's when Mia proposes to find out and leaves a letter addressed to James asking to meet up under Sam's name. Sam is really excited for it and keeps thinking about him. It's Friday night, and the students start a huge bonfire in the college. Mia and Sam attended as well, expecting James to be there. A huge celebration takes place, but James is still nowhere to be seen. Samantha then tells Mia that he probably felt bad for her and doesn't even like her, but Mia consoles her, saying he just needs some time and that he'll surely come around. The whole time, Mia keeps staring and smiling at a guy. Samantha asks what's up, and Mia confesses that she's been in love with that boy ever since middle school. She adds that they went to school together, which is why she finally decided to ask him out. She never thought he'd reciprocate, but now that he has, she's really nervous. Sam congratulates Mia as the guy approaches them. But instead of talking to Mia, the guy starts talking to Samantha. Mia gets extremely hurt by this and runs away. Samantha feels really guilty while the guy runs after Mia, trying to talk to her. Mia goes straight to her room, where she throws a huge party. All of her friends make fun of Samantha, and Mia just laughs with them. She takes Sam's family picture and scribbles all over it. Samantha reaches her room just in time. She starts having fun, but then sees Mia scribbling all over her family photos. She asks Mia what's going on, and that's when Mia tells her that this isn't working out. She even goes as far as to say that Sam has nothing special and only gets attention because of her father. Sam tries to calm her down, but this makes Mia rile up even more. She asks Samantha to speak up for once, instead of just following mindless orders. This causes the two to start fighting. Soon, the small argument transitions into a screaming match. Samantha grabs the photos from Mia and walks away, while Mia goes into her room and slams the door behind her. The next morning, James finds Sam sleeping outside on the couch. He wakes her up and asks her what happened. Samantha tells him everything that occurred the other night and confesses that her status really messed people up. She sighs and tells him that her life will never be normal. James tries to assure her, saying there's nothing wrong with that. He goes on to apologize for not meeting her, and Sam nods in understanding. She jokes about herself not getting any action. James jerks up at that, and Samantha blushes. James decides to ask her out, and so the two sneak out of the college without her guards to go on a date. They climb into a boat in the middle of a lake and talk about their experiences so far. James finally opens up to Sam and tells her that his father has really never been proud of him, and all that he's done so far is to please him. Samantha empathizes with James, and their date goes really well. In the evening, the two go to an amusement park nearby. Samantha eventually confesses that she really likes being with him and talks about how she can truly be herself with James. James reciprocates her feelings, and they move on to play some games. During one of such matches, James wins a prize and hands it to Sam. She takes it happily and exclaims that she loves how James actually beat her and didn't let her win just to please her. The whole night, Sam notices all of the small gestures James makes to see her smile. The day finally ends, and so they return back to their dorms. They awkwardly walk in the hallway, not knowing what to do next. The two make some small talk and eventually part ways. But during all this, Samantha feels like she's missing out. She calls out to James and walks towards him. James turns around, and she musters up all her courage to kiss him. Finally, both of them bid each other a good night, and Sam practically runs to her room. With her eyes closed, she excitedly tells Mia that she kissed James. As she opens her eyes, she sees Mia making out with a guy. Sam apologizes for the disturbance and turns to leave, but that's when Mia stops her and asks her to stay. Mia tells the guy to leave and goes to give Samantha a really tight hug. They smile at each other, and Samantha apologizes for all the nuisance she has caused. She tells Mia that she understands how hard it is to live with someone like her. Mia just chuckles and takes her away. She knocks on a door, and a really hyperactive girl opens it. The girl starts screaming and squealing as soon as she sees Sam. Turns out the girl is Linda, the one who originally was supposed to be Mia's roommate. Linda asks the two to stop and starts playing her trombone. Samantha and Mia just look at each other awkwardly. Linda just can't stop laughing and crying at the same time. She also plays her trombone all the time. Samantha and Mia give each other a knowing look and express how lucky they are to have found each other. The two roommates become friends again. The following morning, Samantha asks Liz to do her a favor. On the other hand, Bach and Dylan ask Mia and James to come with them. Both of them are really confused as to what's going on. Finally, they see Sam standing in front of a huge aircraft. They give Samantha a questioning look, but she just smiles. She asks them to join her, and so all three of them board the plane. As soon as they climb in, they are surrounded by a number of guards. Leading them all is an officer named Charles. Charles takes them to a private room in the airplane in order to cater to all their needs. Mia starts flirting with Charles immediately and giggles. Inside, Samantha provides Mia and James with everything they need and thanks them for putting up with her. The makeup artist, Marjorie, starts to work on Mia's nails. James gets awkward to see so many people just running around him. He asks Samantha about their destination, but she replies that it's a surprise. They finally land and ultimately meet up with Vera Wang, the world-renowned designer. Samantha looks at James and tells him that he will definitely look great in a tuxedo. The three finally get ready and go to a ball. There, they are completely hounded by the press. Mia loves the attention, but James starts to feel a little out of place. They all enter into the massive ballroom, and Samantha runs up to her parents. Mia greets the president and the first lady excitedly, while James stands at attention. Samantha tries to introduce him as her boyfriend, but James cuts her off midway and greets them himself. As soon as they meet her friends, Sam's parents walk away to greet the other guests. Samantha feels really upset because of this, but brushes it off anyway. She takes James along with her and goes to dance. James asks her if they could speak in private, and Sam agrees. He asks her what she's doing, but Samantha is way too entranced by him. She loves the way everyone is staring at the two of them. James tells her that he wants to speak to her privately, but Sam ignores that request. The two start dancing gracefully. That's when Sam expresses that she's wanted to do this for a long time. For the first time ever, she is doing whatever she feels like. James understands her perspective and dances along. Everyone in the room looks at the young couple in awe. President MacKenzie then goes to the front of the stage and gives a speech. Everyone claps and the party begins. Everyone starts dancing and having fun. Even James seems to be more comfortable now. Mia finds a date and enjoys herself as well. Towards the end, Sam goes to answer some questions from the press, but the protesters gang up on her. Suddenly, a really big car crashes way too close to her, and chaos ensues. James immediately picks Sam up and runs into the ballroom. He takes her to a secret room where a car is parked for her. Samantha tells James that they need to get Mia too, but he tells her that they've already taken care of her. He places her inside the car, and right then, James pulls out his walkie-talkie. He starts talking to the other guards, and at the exact moment, Samantha realizes that everything was a lie. James was nothing more than a Secret Service agent. This completely breaks her heart, because everything she had thought out to be normal had actually been fake. She is finally escorted home, where her dad asks if she's okay. This was the last straw for Samantha. She bursts up on him, claiming that she feels really humiliated for being so naive and oblivious to all this. President MacKenzie apologizes for everything, but says that he did all of it just to protect her. He tells her that every day he gets dozens of threats against her, and he couldn't bear to have anything happen to his daughter. This makes Sam tear up. Tears stream down her cheeks as her father tells her not to worry so much. He proposes to have James removed if she wants. Samantha is upset that no one has ever been honest with her, but she also cares about James. She doesn't want him to lose his job. She assures her father that it's fine and that James can stay. Samantha eventually goes back to her room, upset about the truth. There, she finds Mia waiting for her. She tells her everything and talks about how no one has ever liked her for just being Samantha and not the president's daughter. Mia tells her that James really likes her. Even though all he did was his job, you could see the love he had for her. Samantha calls it stupid and claims that James only did that in order to convince her. That's when Mia comes up with a plan. She asks Sam to date someone else to see if James would get jealous. If he does, then they'd know that he also genuinely likes Sam. And so, the next day, Samantha pretends as if everything is all right. She doesn't act hurt or sad at all. Just like the rest of her guards, James stands close to her as well. As Samantha starts eating her lunch, James thanks her for not firing him, even though he crossed his line and betrayed her. Sam just nods and dismisses him. James continues on and says that he regrets ever deceiving her, but all Sam says is that it's alright and puts on her earphones. From then on, she starts doing anything and everything to make him jealous. Samantha starts going on multiple dates and makes him watch. She tries to show James that she isn't affected at all. One night, she wears a really skimpy outfit and goes to meet a guy. There, she gets absolutely wasted and flirts with her date. James tries to get Bach and Dylan to take her away, but they don't listen to him. Samantha then climbs onto a table and starts dancing wildly. Even Mia notices that Sam isn't in the right headspace and asks Bach to take her away. When they don't do anything, James gets agitated. He punches the guy cheering her on and carries Samantha away. Sam begs for him to put her down, but he just ignores her. She tells him that she doesn't trust him anymore, and James asks her to behave. He just wants to do his job properly. The whole fiasco makes him really disgruntled, and that's when James tells her that she isn't like this. The Sam he knew wasn't her. Samantha retorts that it is her without him. James doesn't reply to that, and he quietly takes her up to her dorm room. There, he places her comfortably on the bed and kisses her forehead before leaving. This small gesture really annoys Samantha. She rudely tells him to stop pretending. She adds that he doesn't have to lie anymore. James simply tells her that she's a wonderful girl and tries to leave, but Sam stops him. She tells him that what he did truly hurt her. James turns around and finally expresses his feelings. He tells her that he has nothing to offer to someone like her. He also adds that he doesn't belong with her. Samantha rolls her eyes at that and asks him what the situation would have been like if she had just been some ordinary girl. James tries to evade the question, but Samantha keeps on insisting. He eventually answers that he would have been with her and loved her if she were just some ordinary girl. But the truth is, she isn't and she never will be. James admits that even though he likes her, he can't do anything about it. This answer really startles Samantha. The next morning, tons of reporters stand outside Sam's dorm building. The photos of her dancing on top of the table had gone viral, and she had been getting calls nonstop from Liz. Samantha is still fast asleep, so Mia receives all the calls instead. She finally wakes up after a couple minutes and apologizes to Mia for all the trouble caused. Mia just compliments her wild dance and hands her the phone. Samantha takes the call and, just as anticipated, she gets berated by Liz. She asks to speak to her father, but the president quickly declines the request. He doesn't want to talk to her at all. Multiple news reports about Sam and James start circulating. Worried, Sam goes to meet James but notices that he has already been replaced. The new agent had been hired for her. She feels really disappointed and guilty because of this. The day goes on and Sam attends her first class of the day, this time without James. Everywhere, people talk about her and James, which really stresses her out. She goes running in order to clear her head, but breaks down sobbing in the middle of the track itself. The guards feel really bad while seeing her state. Sam returns back to her room, only to find her mom sitting on her bed. Her mother tells her that the little table dance she did really affected the voting, and tries to explain that Sam always has to carry herself with poise and class, because that's the life they've chosen. Sam tries to argue, saying she never chose this life, but her mother quickly shuts her down. She makes herself clear, saying she's not there to argue or fight. The First Lady then orders Sam to leave college at that very instant and join the campaign with them instead. Sam has absolutely no choice, so she agrees nonetheless. She goes back home and tries to act as if everything is fine. But in reality, it's not. Her parents have stopped speaking to her at all, and all the fun things they did together no longer exist. She just joins them in the campaign and tries to act as if they're the perfect family. On the other hand, James gets really frustrated after finding out that Samantha had left college. His job is also jeopardized, and so he gets called on by a board of officers to discuss his reckless behavior. They insult him and ask him why they should still let him have his job. James tries his best to defend himself, but gets berated by the whole board for risking Samantha's life. As a result, James gets suspended and is asked to think about other job alternatives, because he could also lose his job soon. In one of the campaigns, Sam regains her composure and tries to act as if she's happy. President MacKenzie notices this and approaches her. He tells her that he knows she's upset, but he cannot help her as of now. He then orders Sam to act like a grown-up. Samantha gets tired of being ordered around and stands up to her father instead. She tells him that she's done everything they ever wanted. She left college and joined him after realizing that they needed her. Sam retorts that if he wants her to act like a grown-up, he has to stop following her every move. With that, she walks away. The president realizes that she's right and tries to calm himself down. He's happy that she's finally standing up for herself, but he's also distraught after seeing his little girl in pain. The president and the first lady finally go up on stage for their campaign, while James drives home after being suspended. He just can't stop thinking about Sam. At home, even the president can't stop thinking about what his daughter told him. Although she's always with him, no one had ever asked her what she wanted. So, from that day on, he starts to pay more attention to Sam, and he even asks her opinion from time to time. That very night, he approaches her with a chocolate cake, just like the olden times, and they start to eat it together. Sam takes this opportunity to request her dad to make sure that James is okay. The president agrees to that request and finally asks her if she was in love with him. Samantha smiles at that and replies that she loved who she got to be when she was with him. She told him about how she could be carefree and happy with him, instead of worrying about her reputation. Samantha's father listens to her keenly. Eventually, Sam admits that she does love James, and her father smiles at that. Days pass by, and just as expected, Sam's father gets re-elected as the president. Everyone cheers and celebrates this great news. A huge party gets thrown in honor of the MacKenzie family. Samantha and President MacKenzie dance in the middle of the ballroom. In the corner, Mia stands with her boyfriend. She cheers Sam on whilst music plays in the background. As they're dancing, Samantha tells her father that she loves him very much and feels at home with him. Her father gets emotional and kisses her on the cheeks. He twirls her around, and that's when Samantha sees James standing behind her. She's stunned to see him there, back in his uniform. President MacKenzie ushers James to the center of the ballroom and walks away himself. James walks towards Samantha and grabs a hold of her waist. Samantha is shocked to see this gesture and tells him that they shouldn't do this, but James just ignores her. He starts dancing and swaying with her to the music. Eventually, Sam feels free as well, and the two forget about everything else. They dance the night away and finally feel at peace. Liz and Bach smile at the young couple. As the dance ends, James apologizes for everything that happened between them and hands her a key. He then tells her that the key would take her on her next trip. Samantha is confused at that but takes it anyway and bids him goodbye. James says goodbye as well, and so she walks away. Samantha runs out of the ballroom, but then realizes that all of this was a mistake. At that exact moment, James also comes to terms with the fact that he really loves Sam. The two run back towards each other. As they stand in front of one another, James takes the initiative and kisses her deeply. Sam reciprocates the kiss, and they get lost in each other's arms. James is now President MacKenzie's bodyguard. Samantha asks him to take good care of her father and finally leaves. As she disappears, Dylan appears beside James and tells him that Sam will be back for spring break. He wishes James all the best for this new job and warns him not to fall in love with the president himself. As Samantha walks out of the ballroom, she continues thinking about James. That's when she notices a small car in front of her. Sam is really excited because she's always wanted a car of her own instead of humongous cars driven by trained soldiers. She immediately gets inside the car and drives off to college feeling elated. It was when she left her house that she found home.